afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, it's Greg here again. I thought I'd just do a quick sort of how-to video of how I've done my do trees. I'll do two different types today, and I'll follow them with another two in a couple of days' time. So first of all, we'll just explain the tree structures what I used. As you can see on here, these two here are made from gutter guard, which looks like there we are. It's like that. It's a big 4 metre length, and I think it was about, I can't remember, it wasn't expensive. Big 4 metre length, less than a tenner anyhow. Yeah, so that's what these are. You obviously cut them to size whatever you want with a pair of pliers. Then I'll just take one off and show you, and then trim it to, you know, roughly sort of a piney, pine sort of shape, and I'll just spread it brown. And at the bottom, if you can find any old twigs or anything like that, I just made a base from the twig at the bottom, the wood twig. I made a drill into the hole and put the metal thing into it, because obviously you won't see a lot of this when it's all done. So that's the first sort of tree structure. That's a fairly straightforward one. And then this one is a new one to me, a small, not new, but I've made a smaller structure out of the wire, you know, the florist wire. I haven't done all the branches sticking up because it's going to be a pine tree as such. But this one I have to use seafoam on it. You have to stick seafoam on it, so that'll be one of the first things I'll do now. I'll show you how it's done. So I'll just get my stuff together, which I've already got. Apart from the seafoam, I've got me just a bit of PVA glue. Let's move down a bit, you can see better, can't we, there? Bit of PVA glue, and just that's probably enough. Just a little squirt, just to make it a bit more pliable. Just give it a good mix. So you get consistency sort of like that. No, so it's just stays to the side of the little thing. It doesn't run down, so that's about right. So you need some seafoam, which I have here, which I got off eBay. This is reasonably expensive for a seafoam, but it is good stuff to use for trees, not just for what I'm going now, but other trees. As you can see, this one I made yesterday. This was a trial, sort of the first one I made with the use of static grass. You know, and that was made on a frame like this, but a bit bigger frame. But as you can see, it's come out quite well. You know, I like the texture on it. Looks like pine. So that's what we're aiming for today, but slightly smaller than that. So I'll put that to one side. So what we need to do is you just get, you know, just dab the glue on all over. I'll just start you off on the bottom first. It doesn't matter, be messy as you want, as long as it's glue on it. And then what you need to do is just get your seafoam. You want it fatter at the bottom, so it doesn't matter how it goes on. You know, as long as it goes on, it doesn't really matter. So you just sort of build it like that, build it round, keep building it round. Yeah, look untidy now, but I can assure you when it's finished. So there again, you just keep building it up like so. It's a bit smaller. Please just keep going with breaking pieces off and higgledy-piggledy. As long as it's on the tree, it'll be fine. See, it looks a bit thing at the moment because, you know, if I bring it up to there, you know, it looks a bit higgledy-piggledy at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll stop here. I'll continue with this, and I'll be right back. Right, back again. So this is basically what the tree structure should look like when you've got all the seafoam on. As you can see, it's quite a, you know, just a normal tree shape. You know, it's nothing spectacular. See, it's untidy and everything. So I need to change that bit around. I don't like that part there. It should be the other way on. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a structure like so, untidy or misshapen. So all you need to do really is just get a pair of scissors. I'll bring this over here for the to put it all, and just trim it up to a shape that you like. So just just trim, just keep trimming it till you get a shape that you want. Obviously all the short back and sides. Just keep going. Just sit a bit lower at that bit. Here's another part. Keep going until you get a shape there, until you're happy with what the shape is. All the trimmings can be used for other things. Keep going, it's getting there. It's getting there, just keep going. Parts come out. Obviously they're a bit loose at the moment, but we're getting there with the shape. The shape's slowly coming now. It's nearly there. We just need to point this round now, and you can actually mould it to the sort of a shape as well. As you can see, it's getting more like a pine shape now. Still needs to trim a bit more off yet, but that's the reason why I only did the small branches on the tree with the wire. Obviously, because you're going to trim it into a narrower shaped tree than normal. So, oh, that's clever. Nothing's set today. Where'd that piece go? Here we go. Sorry about that, but it doesn't make any difference. Just put it back and it will set. Right, now the piece gone up to the top. Okay, and we'll just bunch it up a bit and see where we are shape wise. Just about there. Just a few more little trims. Okay. This bit's a bit messy, but it's easy to tidy it up. It doesn't have to be perfectly shaped. I don't suppose any tree's perfectly shaped either. Okay, so I think maybe slightly more, yeah. Not too much more. Right, I think that's about right. That's more of a sort of a shape of a pine tree. A bit better. And it doesn't matter if it's not exactly, no tree, any two trees are the same. So once we've got to that stage, I'll just put this down and I'll move this box out of the way. I'll just put all this seafoam back in here. Okay, I'll just put that away. Right, that's a good tidy there. So now we've got the tree shape. What we need to do now is I'm just going to quickly spray it with a bit of adhesive. Just an old cardboard, just to you see better there. So I'm just going to give it a quick spray with some Art and Craft, just the normal, where we go, Art and Craft adhesive, just to make sure you're in the right shape still. There we go. Okay, so give it a good shake. Give it a good shake. And then just give it a quick spray. Take cover the tree. Short bursts I find is easiest. You can control it then where it's going. So that'll do. Right, so we've got to there. I'll just move this out the way now, and we'll just leave that to one side so I can set up. Just dry slightly. Mecky, mushy. Right, put the lid back on that. Don't need that at the moment. And we'll go back to the gutter guard tree shapes. Why that one is setting. Oh, but dropsy today, nothing's working properly. Right, so all I've did with this is the same thing. Got the gutter guard, snipped it off to the size I wanted, and just trimmed it. Okay, and so just a piece of wood, or you can use, you know, a branch to drill out for this for the trunk. Just done two different sizes, and sprayed them brown. Well, you know, any brown, just to take a bit of the blackness off it. So once you've got to that stage, I'll put them to the side. If you have one of these, which this is called a flock box, as many people will know what it's called anyhow, but this one was given to me by Mr. Simon Kemp. It was a wonderful surprise, because I've been after one for quite a while. I knew nothing about it, and the next minute it was at my doorstep. So thank you very much, Mr. Kemp. It's much greatly appreciated. It really is. Right, so it's back to the tree then. So what you need to do is get some 2mm static grass. You know, any summer or winter. I'm looking to use a summer one first. So this one has already been sieved. So what you do is you just pour it onto the plate, spread it about a bit, and when you buy static grass, it comes a bit lumpy, you know, in clumps. So I tend to just get a sieve. This one's maybe slightly too large, but it works. I'll just pour a bit into the sieve. As you can see, it's a bit clumpy. I'll just leave that there for now, and just gently pass it so it's all into the flock box. You'll be surprised how much it actually takes. You know, when we do it, you shall see how it actually does it. It's amazing. So it was an idea that was shown on the internet. I think it was by I can't remember his name now. But I thought I'd share it anyhow. So it isn't my idea; it's somebody else's idea. But I thought I'd just share it. Luke's Apps. That's where it's from. Luke's Apps, and he's a gamer. He does all the gaming stuff and that. But there's a lot of stuff on his site that we can actually use, you know, in the modelling community as well. And this is just one of them. So when we get to that stage, grass everywhere. What we need to do now is get the first one of these, the small one, and I just use the PVA and water, and just gently give it a good soaking. Really give it a good soaking. A real good soak. I can't really spray it in front of the grass because it's. I'll just off camera to spray it all. A real good spray everywhere. Right. So, I have a tissue. What we need to do is obviously we switch the flock box on, which is on now, and then you get your tree and you clip one end of it doesn't matter if it's the wood, anything, and then what you just do is you go around with this and just picks it up. It's amazing how it does it, absolutely amazing how this works. As you can see, it's picking it up as we're going along. It's like magic. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Not the most perfect shaped pine tree, but there's a little bit more on the bottom needed. So I'll just take it off there and put some more grass on. Let's just pop that there just a second, just where I pop a bit more grass on. Just a little bit more. That'll do for now. There again, we'll just pass it on to the... Oh, better knock it off first, hadn't we? Silly lad. And easy to pass it if it wasn't on, was it? Right. I should have got some newspaper really and put underneath, but yeah, never mind, it's too late now. So we'll just pass some more. Just a little bit more for that last little piece that was on the bottom that just needs a little bit more. So, there we go. And we'll just give it a little bit more glue on that one piece where we thought it was a bit just at the bottom. And I'll wipe my hands dry. Obviously we don't want to be handling things with static. Static will make it a bit shocking. Right, so let's find it right. Where was it at? Right about there. So what we do again is we'll just switch the flock box on again, and we'll just do it again. As you can see, it's like magic. You know, it picks it up. It's absolutely fantastic. Right, so I shall just take this off here now. The clip, knock it over there. The flock box is off. So then, so we get something like that. You know, and if you look closely, the lights. Let's bring the light around here slightly. You've got sort of a pine effect, really. It's quite nice. Now, if you're not happy with the colour, obviously you can just darken the spray a little bit, but as you can see within they do look like pine. Yeah, and it's fairly simple. The gutter guard's cheap. Well, it's obviously the flock, you buy the flock, and the flock box obviously is the most expensive one, but as you can see it's really quite good for a simple effect. So I shall pop that back into there. I'll just let that set up, and then when that's sort of dried a bit, I'll spray it with PVA again to harden it up. So I shall just end it here at the moment. I'll be back shortly. I'm going to tidy up. I'll be back with you again with the other tree. Right, I'm back again. I've tidied up and I've put a bit of kitchen towel so it don't make so much a mess this time. So what we'll do now is this tree is the glue's dried pretty fast. As you can see, we've still got, you know, back to this one again. It looks a bit rough and ready around the edges at the moment, but once the flock's on there, sorry, the static grass is on there, it'll come out really nice. So first thing again is I'll just always do this off camera, so in the flock box, and we'll give it a good dousing of PVA and water. Put it everywhere so the grass is attached to it, will be attracted to it, and everywhere. Give it a good soaking. Obviously not soaking that's dripping everywhere, but obviously because you're using electricity. But a good. Let me just wipe the excess off the fingers and off the frame itself. So I'm just literally just give it a good soaking with PVA. So there again, same thing again, is you connect your little crocodile clip to the end of the sorry, I'm way out of shot there. Just collect it to the bottom of the tree like that. Switch your flock box on and just do the same again. As you may be able to see, bringing it up, just go around. Let's just turn it round. Round again. You don't have to go too low with it because it's like magic. It really is. Just keep going round and round. Right. A bit on that side. You'll be surprised. I think it's a brilliant idea. I really do. Right, so we can knock the flock box off. Big hair there. And as you can see, yeah, it's, you know, that perhaps could just pushed in there slightly. As you can see, it really is nice and so simple to do. Now, if there's any parts that you're unhappy with, you can just get a pair of scissors. And see, I just trim things off. There's a bit there I don't like, so just trim it off again. Anywhere else I don't like, probably that one there. As you can see, there's, you know, they do look quite nice. I'll put them both together. Now I'm going to share this. So let me just get myself into shot. Where are we at? You know, there's nothing wrong with them. You can use them. You know, varying sizes. Same with the other one. You can trim any pieces off that you don't want, but that's the gutter guard. There's a few things on the bottle just trim off to make it tidier. That's the gutter guard one, and then there's this one which is the florist wire. So we still remember, don't make the branches too wide, obviously, because you're going to trim it down to sort of a pine sort of shape, whatever a pine tree shape is. And basically, once you've made the frame, then I use polyfiller and PVA glue, mix so it's gloopy. Spread it all along all the wire to make the roots, to make the branches, and for the trunk, like so. There's the trunk. Just want to clean the grass off there. I twist it so I put my legs on the bottom so it stands up. And then once all that's dry, just spray it a brown colour. At the bottom of here, I'm going to have to just weather it a little bit more wood effect on it. But as you can see there, it doesn't come off as well. You know, I've only just done that. I can handle it. So, but I do two other kinds of trees as well, or there are four actually. But the next one I'll do, it'll be using, you know, the coconut husk that you get with hanging baskets. I use that, and obviously just use the seafoam as it is, you know, just onto a wire structure like this, but more of a tree structure. The branches are bigger and come out a lot farther. But, and there's another way. Which other one I do? I do the one with polyfiber as well. I think I may have an example. Just a second, I can show you. Which was just a trial one to start off with. Let me just see. Yeah, I've got quite a few trees actually. I'll just show you a couple of them. See, this one is with the polyfiber. That's not a bad little tree. Same again with the wire structure again, but the polyfiber's the you know, just thinly spread over the branches, and then some of the flock. You know, which one I use is Woodland Scenics coarse flock, and then fine flock on the top of it. Again, it's not a bad little tree. And then this one is same again, is the gutter guard, and this is used with the fine coarse flock sprayed. You spray the tree glue again and you just sprinkle it all over, let that dry a little bit, then respray it with PVA glue again and water, and put the fine flock on it from Woodland Scenics. As you can see, they're quite simple, quite effective, varying, you know, all different varying shapes and textures and colour. So that's another one. Where's the other one I've got? Looks like a forest. Like a forest. Let's pop that back in that hole. Will you go back in that hole? Will. I've got another couple more here. So this is, you know, the normal, just using the Seafoam. Can't really, let me just, once reshaped this one, I've just knocked it. That's just with the Seafoam. So a general everyday tree that really wants reshaped and everything. That one. And these two I've made here on the same, they're all on wireframes, the Florist wire. I just tried to do with actual leaves off trees. You know, some of it's not too bad, but as you can see they're a bit hit and miss. They'll just trial run, so I'll probably take them off and do some better stuff to use on them. I thought I'd just try it. I think that one's slightly out of scale, that one, but it's not too bad, I suppose. I haven't got one of the balsa wood for once. Balsa wood with the coconut husk. So I'll have to knock one of them up shortly. So as I say, there's that many different kinds of trees you can do. People do them in different ways. You know, you can do what you want with them. You can make them smaller, larger, different colours, different textures. But I think the static grass one is really, really nice. I really like that. I really like that effect. I think it's champion. And they're quite robust even now without me spraying them with PVA glue. You know, really are. I said just with you got the wood effect already from the frame at the bottom. Just want a bit of trimming at the bottom. Oh, out of shot again. Come on, Mr. Riley. I just want to trim around the bottom a little bit, and here they are, one tree. This is obviously the easiest way because the frame's already made, and obviously this is obviously better for pine trees and Christmas trees or whatever you want to make. You can do all sorts of it, but that's best for the pine trees, I find, is the gutter guard. So let's pop that one back on there again. Not a shot again, but it'll stay there for now. And like I say, again we'll go back to this one. This is the one with the wire Florist wire frame. So the colours, you can change your colours, you can use different kinds of grass, 2mm, there's dead, there's autumn, there's summer, there's winter. But we've been evergreen, I suppose. They're always green, but occasionally you get a dead tree, don't you? And they look a bit browny green. So they're fairly simple to do, you know. There must be if I can do them. Yeah, so the next one I'll be doing is using balsa wood, the coconut husk, and I'm going to do one with the flock and one with the static grass, and we'll see whether, see what they both come out like and compare them both. So as you can see on my bench, does it zoom out any more than we are? No, it won't, will it? I'll lift the camera slightly. You can see it's like a little mini forest on me bench. There's trees everywhere. There's trees everywhere. I really must put them all together and put them out there. But the flock box is absolutely amazing. I do like the flock box. Oh, let's get the camera back up there. I do like the flock box. I think it's a marvellous bit of kit. And once again, thank you, Mr. Kemp Simon. It's a very thoughtful. Very thoughtful and considerate. What a smashing chap. I say this is going to get used and used and used. There's all sorts of different things you can do with this flock box. You can buy the applicators with the sieve on the end. They're great for doing, you know, but you can also make this as a sieve as well. You can use it for the sieve. Just attach a, you know, a sieve like so. Obviously wrapped with a bit of thing on the end. So you're not going to metal. Just a bit of electrical tape, and then you clip the clip onto that, the red one onto that, and there you've got an applicator. And then also you can make the tufts with what you need to do is get a greaseproof, but I've been told to use silicone paper, which is better. You cut the silicone paper into whatever size, sort of maybe similar sort of size to the plate. And then you need to find an aluminium plate roughly that size again that you can put your thing onto, and you clip the red. See, there's a red one of those that clips into the back of there, and then this goes onto the plate. One goes onto the plate, and let me work it out. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it works anyhow. Oh no, so that's, sorry, this is for the plate, for the applicator. You clip this to the applicator, and then you clip that to the part of what you want to do on your, you know, say you're doing a large patch of grass, little nail, put it into your dio, put that clip onto there, and then you've got this clip onto your sieve, and away you go. So it's, you know, a decent bit of equipment. I know they're quite expensive. I think around about the £40 mark, but really good quality. You get some good stuff knocked out of it, and it'll certainly get used. Unfortunately, when they do sell them to you, you only get they can run off batteries, but you can buy obviously a 9V to 12V adapter, which we've got here, although I don't use batteries, and it works off that. You can buy one of these multi-adapters with different settings like 6V, 9V, 12V, whatever, and this runs between 9 and 12, so I've stuck it at 10 I think at the moment, no 12, sorry, it's at 12, so it's on full pelt and it worked great. It really does, which were really nice. But yeah, thinking you maybe you spend 5 or 6 quid on an actual, you know, you put a plug-in adapter for it instead of just using batteries. But this one is, I can't remember the make of the other one, it's slightly smaller, and you can't run it off electricity, it's just battery only. I know it's slightly cheaper, but it's a lot smaller than this. I don't think you can use the applicator on it and things. I think it's just a flop box. So this is more of a, you know, all-rounder. You can do all sorts of things with it. So it's really nice. I'd recommend, you know, another expert, I'd recommend getting one. I really would. You know, when you buy your Tufts offline, they cost you quite a bit of money. You can make your own with your little bits of static grass, little coloured flowers, do your own, different varying lengths from 2mm to 12mm, 10mm, do all sorts of things like summer, winter, autumn, dead grass, everything. It'll save you a fortune in the end. I know the outlay might be expensive to start with, but think of the times you see, you think, oh, I need some more Tufts off to send off for them, and waiting for them to arrive, and you just make your own. Bit of silicone paper clipped to the piece of metal sheet, or you can use aluminium, you can use the thick aluminium. You know, the buffet trays, you can use them, or the thick aluminium trays that you get from Chinese. You just take the edges off, flatten it, obviously wash it, and then you can use that to put your silicone paper on, and you clip this clip onto the silicone, onto the metal, and then you got dabs of PVA glue, or carpet tag glue. Apparently works better because it's sticky on the end when you pull it off. You know, it's endless. You really can do a lot with it. You can make it your own, and obviously your own Tufts, how big, how small. So I hope it's been informative. I was a bit hit and miss with certain parts, but it's my first time I've ever done anything like this. So thank you for watching. I hope you've sort of liked it, sort of thing, and I hope it can be of use to some people. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you all for my subscribers, and I shall probably do an update of what's on the bench in the next day or so, and then I shall make the frames for the balsa wood trees with the coconut husks, and we'll do a compare between the flock and the static grass. So this is Greg signing off. Thank you very much.